Good afternoon, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great afternoon. It is Thursday afternoon. Kind of getting off coffee for a few days until this throat thing clears up. I just got no taste for it. So it is a Pepsi kind of afternoon. Just something to quench my throat so I'm not coughing through this video. Here today to talk about yet another favorite band of mine. One that maybe doesn't get as much praise as they should. It is 10 years after. I have both vinyl and CD to show you, but I'm just highlighting this one for the moment. It's a great box set. 10 CDs on this one between 67 and 74. That's the years I'm going to focus on with 10 years after, even though they were around later. But amazing band. Blues-based band for sure. Best known for the big tracks, I'm Going Home, Hear Me Calling, I'd Love to Change the World. It still plays on classic rock radio. Love Like a Man, top 40 albums, just so good. They were led by Alvin Lee, the remarkable blues guitarist, underrated guitarist, vocalist, harp. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2013. He used every note on that fretboard of the guitar when he played his lead work. It was just remarkable. He was active between 66 and 74, then again in 83 to 2003, and then again we lost him in 2013. You got Churchill on keyboards, 1966 to 74, then again in 83, and then 88 to 2024, so pretty recent. Lyons on bass, 1966 to 74, 83, and then 88 to 2014, and Ric Lee on drums, 1966 to 74, 1983, and then 88 to the present. So there's still a form of 10 years after out there. Most of my albums are between 66 and 74, and that's what I'm going to focus on. There's also a Cap Ferret Sessions in here that I'm not going to. It's more of a comp, just unreleased stuff. Here it is here. I'm not going to really talk about that one too much. Focus on their studio and live albums. Remarkable band. They were part of the Newport Jazz Festival in '69. The Seattle Pop Festival in '69 as well. And then they made their American appearance on Woodstock. Both on the soundtrack and on the film, which of course increased their popularity. They performed a big hit, I'm Going Home. I wish they would have seen more from them, but remarkable performance. Just blew the crowd away, and so good. So this box set came out in 2017. It includes their debut, very psychedelic looking, 10 years after. But it's actually one of the first blues rock albums by British musicians, released in 1967. It's got that used look to it on the back as well. All the CDs look like this, so I'm not going to show the CDs. But really good. Really good stuff. And then we've got Undead, one of their first live albums, of course. Small Jazz Club Festival in Cloak's Cleek in London in 1968. Combines blues and boogie rock and jazz rock and traditional rock and roll, and of course Alvin Lee's pentatonic scale, of that fretboard that he uses when he does his leads. Just remarkable stuff. Here's the back cover. Yeah, again, a highly underrated album, artist. I'm not thinking straight. Stonehenge, not Stonehenge, but Stoned Henge is the second studio album by the band, 1969 release. More psychedelic blues on this one. More experimental music on this one as well. And progressive stuff on this one. Some stereo and studio mixing and effects on this one as well. Really good stuff. If you don't know this one, definitely check it out. And I had all these on vinyl at one point, but I'm not going to go through that story. I've told it a bunch of times. Shush, amazing album. The third album, studio album by the band, 1969 release. This one's really good as well. You got Bad Scene, Two-Time Mama, Stoned Woman, Good Morning Little Schoolgirl. This is so good. I woke up this morning. Great photo of the band. Then we have Cricklewood Green, the fourth studio album, 1970 release. Back to a blues-based album. Lightning fast guitar licks. Great flow of the album from start to finish. Yeah, this is really good. I was given a VCLT of the same album. Now, this is not the original copy or cover, but the gentleman that sent this to me wrote on this one, which is cool. But it is a great vinyl version, and this album sounds good. Sounds really, really good. I can tell it's a VCLT because it's the MoFi sleeves. But yeah, Sugar, The Road, Working on the Road, 550,000 Miles Beneath My Brain, Year 3000 Blues. Fantastic stuff. It's on the Durham label. So good. Probably their most underrated album, maybe, is What? 1970 release. They do a great cover of Chuck Berry's Sweet Little 16 on this one, which was recorded from the 1970 Isle of Wight Festival. Same energy as Cricklewood Green. Yeah, I'm Coming On, My Baby Left Me, The Thing About the Times, The Band With No Name, She Lies in the Morning. Most of this is when they were writing a lot of their work. I know the early stuff, there's a lot of covers. There is a cover on this one, but the majority of their songs are written by Alvin Lee. Fantastic stuff. So I do have a vinyl version of the same album, again on that Durham label. Really good sounding album. Probably the most commercially successful album, A Space in Time. The sixth album by the band, 1971 release. Kind of a departure from their previous stuff. It's not as heavy, more acoustic guitar, kind of like Led Zeppelin was at the time, mixing acoustic songs with heavier songs. I'd Love to Change the World is the big hit off of this one. One of These Days is really good. Here They Come, Over the Hill, Baby Won't Let Me Rock and Roll You. Yeah, Once There Was a Time. So good. I have a vinyl version of it as well. This is on the Columbia label. So two good versions of the album. This was my introduction to the band. Remember when Columbia House was out there and you can order albums? I can't remember what it was. 8 albums for a penny or something like that. I didn't order this one, but they sent it to me. So I was introduced to this album by Columbia House. Thank you, Columbia House. So this is from the box set. This is my vinyl version, again on that Columbia label. The seventh album by the band, 1972 release. Stand at the Station, Choo Choo Mama, the title track. Everything about this album is fantastic. Inside the cover, I'm not going to open it up unless it shows. No, it doesn't show it on the back. I love the kind of the mirror ball look of the band. Inside the cover is what I think is Woodstock, where all the crowd is out there as well. But yeah, so good. Then finally from the box set, Positive Vibrations. Again, I have it on vinyl as well, on the Columbia label. The eighth album by the band, released in 1974. Shortly after this, the band would break up, unfortunately, for a time. But unfortunately, it's inevitable with a lot of bands. But great album. Great album. The rest of what I have is a lot of compilations, but some different stuff as well. This is another BCLT. This is 10 years after Alvin Lee and Company, 1972 album with previously unreleased tracks on it. They had to change from Durham to Chrysalis, sorry, in the UK, and Columbia Records in the US. So we've got 2 non-single hits on there, Rock Your Mama and Portable People. The Sounds, Crossroads, Hold Me Tight, Boogie On. It's on that. This is the London version of it, or the UK version of it. Again, the MoFi sleeves. Great stuff. Love it. This is a fantastic album as well. On the Road to Freedom with Alvin Lee and Mylon Lefevre. Fantastic 1973 release. The first solo project by Alvin Lee. Recorded at Lee's home in Oxfordshire. Him and Lefevre built the studio. The guest musicians are some of the best at the time. George Harrison, Steve Winwood, Jim Capaldi, Ron Wood, Mick Fleetwood. Fallen Angel is on here. Harrison wrote the song So Sad, No Love of His Own. They were both issued as singles off the album. This is a really, really good album. Another BCLT. I think Aaron Mutha Alomar gave me this one, if I'm not mistaken, as the previous one as well. This is a compilation for sure, 1977, classic performances of 10 years after. Kind of the best of 10 years after. I'm going home one of these days. I'd love to change the world. Tomorrow I'll be out of town. Good morning, little schoolgirl. Baby, won't you let me rock and roll you? Rock and roll music to the world. It's getting harder. Positive vibrations and Choo Choo Mama. Fantastic stuff. This is a good compilation if you don't know 10 years after to find and pick up for sure. And then finally, a couple of later albums. This is Rocket Fuel, 10 years later with Alvin Lee. Really good rockin' album. Of course, with his magic guitar. This is 1978 release. Rocket Fuel, Gonna Turn You On. Somebody Called Me. Somebody Waltz. This is fantastic, fantastic release. And Ride On. 10 years after, or 10 years later, sorry. 2000 release. Yeah. This is on MoFi sleeve as well. So is this a VCLT also? It might be. Someone knew that I loved 10 years after, that's for sure. This is a recorded live album with no overdubs or effects added to it. It is truly remarkable. Too much, It's a Gas. Ride On Cowboy, Sitting Here, Can't Sleep at Night. There's that classic guitar with this. Always had that upside down peace symbol there. Yeah. Fantastic stuff. So there you have it, guys. Check out this box set if you don't have it. If you want to get into 10 years after. And some of those albums I showed you. Fantastic, fantastic British blues band that needs some loving for sure. And have a great rest of the day. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.